I've realized that this church isn't even ours. The good stuff in this church hasn't even come from me. And if I'm entirely honest with you guys, it hasn't even come from you either. You see, I look back at this last 16 years that I was waiting, and my mind thinks back to my dad. My dad who said, I believe that you can do anything that you put your mind to. That if you want to do something, it doesn't matter how big or scary it is, you just go for it, and God will back you up all the way. And he planted that seed in me, which has always stayed with me in every difficult situation. I then think back to Anthony Delaney. When I was in my early 20s, I was a youth worker without any qualifications, any clue. And he took a punt on me. And he put me in situations constantly that would stretch me, that would challenge me. And he kept on saying, I see more in you, I see more in you. Why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? And he invested in me and he's spoken to me. I think about Colin Bond, who was the first person to give me a platform and say, I want you to preach to these people. I think that you've got a word from God for them. I think about Gerald Coates. When I first told anybody that God was calling me to plant a church, he came up to me and he said, I see that in you. I believe that's true. I believe that you could do this. I believe God has got big plans for your life. And you need to go for this. And you need to be courageous. And he spoke that dream into life. You have no idea how powerful that conversation was in my life. No one had ever told me that they believed in me like that until that moment. And there's so many other. I think of Paul Lloyd. I think of Phil Smith. I think of Andy Chadwick. I think of John Warren. And these guys have been around me all through my journey, speaking into me, encouraging me, challenging me, calling the best out of me. And every good thing that I see here now, I have to look back and say, this isn't even mine. I've just stewarded the blessings that other people have sown into me. And I'm now able to pour them out. You see, we aren't Abraham. We aren't at the beginning of the story. We exist midstream. As I talk about this, maybe even now you're sitting here and there are names that are coming into your head. There are people you're thinking about who have sown into you and invested in you. Or perhaps you're sitting here and there's a void. And you feel that. You feel the hollowness of that, and you wish that somebody had just taken you under their wing and just sown into you. And you can't change one way or another what has been, but I want to challenge you with two things today. Who is it that is sowing into your life right now? And whose life are you sowing yours into?